All right. Is up. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name's Tank Kramer. I'm with Bryon. Man, how you
What's up,
doing?
guys? I feel like Spoiler Kings after dark. I just feel so. Uh, uh,
The late show.
yeah.
That's all good, man. Stuff happens. It's life. It's life. But yeah, man. So see, do a quick recap of everything going on. See, me and Will did Kimmy this past week. If you guys want to go check that out. That was a okay movie. It's kind of funny when it wasn't supposed to be, which are always those are always fun. We had a bunch of what happened?
When I was actually waiting all that time for everybody, I was watching Kimmy in my car. Like I was watching it, like this is not that good. It's okay, but it's just
it was fun. It was fun, but it doesn't deserve a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes by the critics.
I was looking at it, I was like 94% for what?
Yeah,
I mean it's not bad. It's just like it was just a movie. It was almost like just a Netflix show, almost like.
Yeah. It was fun. Me and Will, we start we when we start making fun of it and really start laughing, it was just fun, a fun review. I hope more people watch it because it was fun, and those are always like good to do. And then me and Fredo are doing our Oscar reviews. I think you joined us for Nightmare Alley. We're gonna have Drive My Car coming out this week, probably tomorrow, hopefully. And then the contest should be coming up for sure this weekend. I'm working on that. And then Bel-Air, man. I did a little experiment. I wanted to see if doing a big massive drop was good. So I dropped 8 videos all at once about all the different breakdowns. They're all short videos, about 3 to 4 minutes, except for the Carlton one, which is about 13 minutes, where we just talk about Carlton.
Oh my god! But this episode made me hate him even more. I'm like,
yeah.
what the hell? What? You're such a douche. Like, just oh my god.
Yeah, this episode 5. So that came out last. What days does it come out? It comes out on Thursdays. Yeah, it comes out on Thursdays. So it came out last Thursday. So you can kind of recap with episode 5 before tomorrow. If you're watching live, is going to come out episode 6. But yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's like you hate them even more. You're like, you little man.
Hey, Oli. Thanks. Happy Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, missed you. There we go. Happy Wednesday.
He just we getting this whole episode. I mean, just this whole thing. He's just not a enjoyable character, but he does it so well. I hate him for so many reasons.
He's doing really good, and I know we already got a pretty decent amount of comments on that video that we put up of Carlton. Get it real quick. So we had a few of the comments. We're talking about it, and I wasn't like surprised, but I was kind of like shocked, like how many people have like a lot of feelings for Carlton. He's definitely a big part of the show, and I think he's bigger than what I think people expected. Because they were expecting like the OG Carlton, not this guy who was like, I don't want to say not the villain, but definitely like not.
People hate him.
Yeah, he's just not a side character. I feel like in the old one he was just a side character. This one he plays a major part, major part. And we got the King Michael actually commented on it, and he brought up a good point. He said Carlton was like that in the beginning of the original show, talking about he was kind of annoying and kind of like stuff like that. He goes, did we forget that he made excuses for cops stopping them? And I forgot about that until you brought it up.
Yeah. And then how cool Uncle Phil was, and Aunt Phil was, she's about taking out her earrings. She's like, "Oh, it's about to get real in here."
Oh, yeah.
And he, Uncle Phil was like, "Did you call their lawyer?" "No, you didn't, because I'm their lawyer."
Yeah.
"Did you call their parents?" "No, you didn't, because we're their parents." And he was putting it down, and then his partner walked in. He was like, "Oh, that's my car. What you talking about?" So, "Oh, so sorry, sir. Oh, so bad." And Uncle Phil's looking
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, that episode, Carlton's like making excuses, like, oh well, this and that, and I don't remember the details, but that part of, because Uncle Phil was definitely like the hero of that one. But yeah,
It's
but he
terrible.
was like that too.
Remember that? Like, I didn't look at that recently. I remember that so much.
Yeah.
Like
And
singing,
but
like the guy that's in jail, he was singing with him, and he had that song. It's just like, it was like, oh my god,
oh my god, that's right. Yeah, so
Let
I started watching some of the old
go.
I started watching some of the old Fresh Prince. This kind of get caught up on the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot Don Cheadle played Trey back in the old one, and their relationship was a little bit different, but still like very buddy and stuff like that. But like that was definitely funny. And I forgot how many fat jokes they made with Uncle Phil back then. I forgot how many fat jokes, because that was a whole thing, and you can't do it with this Uncle Phil. You can't say fat jokes with this one.
He's super cool. He's too stealthy. He was like, got six pack. What you doing? 45 years old with a 6-pack.
But yeah, I mean, even in that one, Carlton, I saw somebody put up a clip of him not getting into that fraternity, in college because he was considered like a sellout kind of stuff. So, that was a good episode.
Carlton said that in that thing. He was like, "We run the same race. Why are you trying to trip me up?" That was a big, awesome episode, and that's what I think I loved about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the sitcom. It took these major ideas, these major conflicts, even within the Black community, even within that, and brought it to light and made fun of it, but also gave it, power. Like, understand how important it is, how you treat each other. Why you can't act like you can't pull someone else down instead of being happy that they're going up and they should pull you up. And I think that was what the whole episode was. And that's Uncle Phil was so good at that, showing those things, and even having realizing like when he forgot where he came from, and saying, okay, we need to do these things more often. And that was awesome.
Yeah.
This episode,
I mean,
something though.
This episode, we'll get into that one. Trey comes and visits, so it's like the Trey episode, which you called it last week. You're like, Trey's gonna give up the dirt unintentionally, like he did, but he's gonna give it up, and he kind of felt bad, that Carlton kind of he didn't force it out of him, but
Trey was drunk. He was drinking already.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think Will forgot all the things that Trey had to deal with, but still being in Philadelphia. It's a lot. I mean, when you think about it, he got shot weeks ago.
Yeah.
His best friend was thrown in there, and really, Will did all of it. Will set all this stuff up because he couldn't just let it go. He had to be GOAT. He had to be, I'm King Will. This is what I'm all about. And he set all those things in motion. And Trey only brought the gun because he knew he had to protect him, because he knew he couldn't stop him from running his mouth.
Yeah.
So Will try to turn her back around on Trey. He's like, whose gun was it? Well, Trey was like, no, I did it because of you're being an idiot. And Will has to realize
him, like,
all the stuff. He calls a lot of it.
Yeah. But it was like that back and forth, it was like, well, you did this. It was like, yeah, but you brought the gun. It's like, yeah, we weren't even supposed to be there. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was a lot of back and forth, which, I don't like, but are also their kids, so that's what they kind of do. So, but I mean, Trey was right at the end. Trey never wanted to be there. Trey said, like, just drop it, just forget it. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. And, like you said, Will, had to have that ego and pride and stuff.
Well, think about it. I mean, you grew up with Manny a lot. I grew up with Marvin all the time, and there's times when we were like 16, 17 that we argued like that. That's when you really have a real bond, that you will argue with that person, and even be end on bad terms, and they have to come back and realize you kind of put yourself in that situation. But you're a child, so of course you always want to point to the other person, not
Yeah.
realizing that it's really you that put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is kind of going to go through. I mean, the episode goes through it. I think that the rest of this season is going to go through that relationship. I don't think that relationship is done.
No, no, it can't be. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way it can be. Because I mean, he still has his mom in Philly. He still's got stuff in Philly. It's not done. I think it's gonna pop up again, and I don't know how exactly, but it'll be interesting.
Trey is a good friend, and that's what we saw. Even with the whole gun thing, he wants to protect his friend. He's a good friend. It's just natural for Trey to feel like you're leaving me behind after I did all this for you. All this trouble was caused by you being you, and I'm always being your hype man, and now you're trying to lead. So I understand where Trey's coming from, and Will was just thinking, "Oh, you should just be happy for me." No, man, you caused all this strife. I got shot because of you, and now you trying to just bounce. Trey's feelings make sense. Trey getting drunk makes sense because he's still dealing with that. He's still dealing with the trauma of being shot and having to deal with this stuff, and his best friend causing this stuff. I was surprised Trey just came out. Honestly,
yeah. But Trey's getting a lot of criticism for like not supporting Will. It's like, oh, he's mad. He's mad that Will's gonna stay out there. He's like, well, why don't you come home and blah blah blah. He's like, you should be happy for him. Like he came up, like he's doing well. But I'm like, I get that, but also Trey, like you said, Trey sacrificed everything. Trey was like always there for you. He was like, so, and then once shit hit the fan, Will got to run away. You know what I mean? I mean,
every day.
And then, but yeah, Trey couldn't. I mean, like luckily Will had a place to go. And his mom was smart enough to send him away, but Trey couldn't. And he got shot. He got shot because of Will. I mean, he's just like straight up like lucky to be alive. And I get it's like you're like, all right, everything's done. You're cool. Like I can't even go hang out at the ball court anymore because it just ain't right. With everything that happened and you not being there. So it's like, all right, let's go back to normal. And for him to like, he's like, nah, I'm good here. He's like, I got everything. I got concerts. I got money now. And Trey's like, yeah, but it was me and you. It's almost like a relationship. It was also like, yeah, and they kind of hint at a lot of it too. It's like, oh, I think they said something like, they like argue like a married couple or somebody said something and I forgot. They were just kind of like, all right, well, hold on. Not like that, kind of like stuff. But
it is, every relationship is that way though. Anytime you care about someone, those relationships are that way. And when you know someone for real, you really know someone and you've been through it, you know all the dirt about it. Those relationships are real relationships.
Yeah.
And go through ups and downs and all that. And I think that's important. Just like, they say, Will's life got flipped upside down. Trey's life got flipped upside down, except he didn't have a rich Uncle Phil. He didn't have anyone to get him out of there. That's, I think, important. That's what you really have to understand and see where he's coming from. And now he has to go back to that life, and now without his best friend who caused all the rifts anyway, he still has to go deal with. West Philly is not changing. That 14 miles for him is his life. So
I think he said that too.
Yeah. And it makes perfect sense. I have no ill thoughts for Trey. I think Trey will come to his senses and say, I'm happy for you. You need to stay out here. But right now, after just getting shot, then 2 weeks later, you want me to come out to see you? Bruh, I'm still mad.
Yeah. I can see that as like, cool, I'm happy for you, but we're done as friends. I can see that because I mean, Trey's got to move on. You know what I mean? It's like he doesn't get to enjoy the money, like you said, doesn't get to go to concerts. He still got to go to school. And they even brought up the basketball team. He's like, yeah, the team sucks. He's like, with you gone, it sucks. So it's like so much of Trey's life revolved around Will. You know what I mean? I know that sounds like silly, but it is what it is. It's like
that's your best friend. I mean, and you know what? You
Yeah.
know who everyone's gonna blame? Him.
Yeah.
Man, if only Prince was here. Man, who's the person who had the gun? It's Trey's fault. Trey has to deal with all that.
Yeah.
His life is forever changed, and he can't just go and leave and become someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I totally understand that relationship. As far as that goes, Trey, I understand him. I understand why Will's thinking the way he's thinking because he's a kid, and they're gonna have to reconcile sometime.
Yeah, I can see maybe in like later seasons they kind of like figure it out or something like that. But yeah, I don't think people are hating him. They're like, oh, he should be happy for his friend. I was like, I mean, yeah, but also it's like he wants his friend. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like you're not gonna be happy with like you break up with your girlfriend and your girlfriend goes and like is like super happy. I mean, part of you is like, you fucking asshole, like like you don't deserve that, because you're not doing it with me, kind of stuff, So I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just how it is at times. You know what I mean? But Trey, Trey is completely justified in how he feels and thinks.
And Will's the person that fucked their life up. It's literally him. So he wins the lotto.
Yeah.
And he leaves Trey in the shambles of everything that he caused. Trey was fine before, but before Will did all his dirty stuff, now he's left just in that. So I mean, I think that's what's going to take. It's going to take Trey, finding himself hopefully, and being in a better situation, and letting him go, letting Will go. Like you said, and we still could be friends, but right now, I need to go do me. I have to go find out what I can do.
So that was probably the biggest part of episode 5. There's a few other parts that were pretty big too. Hillary with her dinner date, where Trey got drunk. That was pretty big, for her. I don't know what you thought, but when she's like, "Oh, there's hidden cameras everywhere," my first thought was like, somebody's gonna say something.
What Trey said.
Yeah.
So now everyone knows.
Yeah. Which I think that still might be a possibility. I think, because then there was something hidden that Uncle Phil didn't know, but luckily he's such a good person and a good father. Everything he said was very positive about his daughter, his oldest daughter, that like he loved, and he said everything about her. And I was like, that was very touching and moving. And he didn't know he was getting recorded. I mean, it worked for him in the polls,
He really did, because now the police are all over him and saying, lose all your sponsors and all that money, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah. So I mean, he's getting the people, like the normal people, on his side, but he's like kind of losing the police and other powerful people, which is, it's kind of a balancing act when you're a politician like that, especially with somebody like a black politician. It's very, very balancing act. But
being a DA, district attorney, I mean, that
of all things,
big. You have to be able to balance a lot.
Yeah,
that's Kim Fox.
That's right. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, the dinner went pretty good. A lot of people real quick before we move on to that, I think the positive thing is a decoy, because that same dinner with the hidden cameras is gonna show up again, but in a negative light. And I think it's gonna be
Trey talking to Carlton. Yeah, all that's gonna come to light.
Yeah. And that I think that was really going to affect. I think that'll affect Hillary a lot. I could see her getting messed up by it, and then it could go public.
Who owns the recordings?
Yeah. I assumed her, right? Because it's her apartment, and she knew where the cameras were.
But when Uncle Phil didn't even know about what was being recorded between him and the other guy, that made me feel like maybe someone else knows and owns the recordings, and then maybe it's a TV company or something like that. Like it's like Big Brother. NBC owns all the recordings.
Yeah.
That's the case. That's a problem for him.
Yeah.
And they're gonna tell him like, hey, you either say you were wrong with defunding the police, or we're gonna release these tapes.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah. It's gonna be something like that because they hinted at it, but it's gonna turn up bad. Bad. But yeah, so she's in a content house, which is pretty funny. Very if I don't know if you know what a content house is, it's a bunch of YouTubers and Instagram people, mostly YouTubers, that live in a house and they just make content with each other solo all day, every day. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. You're like, so it's just a bunch of like 20-something-year-olds hanging out and everything's on camera. Like, yep, and they get paid a buttload.
Something like Real World.
Yeah.
Except these guys, they have control of their own content. But Real World was the same thing, but without them having any control. MTV controlled it. It's like that. For people that are our age.
yeah. Like if you want to like relate it, that's probably the best comparison. I completely forgot. But again, people are also upset about the dinner date because there was all these influencers that came by, and one was this person that came in, and they are like a big advocate for LGBTQ stuff.
Neutral, like fluid neutral, all that stuff.
Yeah. So they were like really big into that, and I think at one point, so a lot of people were like, "Oh, with the woke stuff," and then Ashley winded up having a nice little conversation with her, and them, and I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't really think anything about it because I think that's just the newer generation where it's just like a little bit more like able to talk about it. So I didn't think anything too big about it, but I know some people were like really not happy with it. Like they're like, "Oh, why are you shoehorning it in?"
If she wasn't at 8th grade, 8th grade is kind of old. If she was like 7 or 8, I'd be like, you need to shut the hell up and you don't wait for her parents to get there. But at the age of 13, 14, they're starting to find out who they are a little bit more. They're exploring who they are a little bit more. And sometimes they need to talk to someone about feelings that they're having their self. Mm-hmm. It's not like she's feeding her the feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like she's having those feelings herself, and she's trying to get information about the things that she's exploring.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's hard to go to the parents.
Exactly.
It's hard to talk to parents where this person, like, oh, I seen them on YouTube talking about it. Mm-hmm. So you already have like a fake connection, Well,
I think that what the influencer said wasn't anything bad. Nothing she said was wrong or anything. She was like, gender fluidity is going to be something of the future. It is what it is. People. Hey, she didn't say there's anything wrong being heterosexual. She didn't say anything being homosexual. She didn't say anything was wrong being asexual. None of that stuff. She didn't say any of that. So I mean, she didn't condemn any part. So that's why I was like, she just kind of gave her information and said, do what you will with it. So I thought that was okay.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that they're going to do that to Ashley. That Ashley's going to be the one that has that.
Yeah. Which, like I said, it's not. I'm not too like weirded out about it. I think they're once the parents find out, I think they're going to be a little weirded out about it. Because like again, like it's this whole series so far is like you said, between two worlds. You know what I mean? So it's like not just the two worlds of being, rich and black in a white, predominantly white neighborhood, but it's also two different worlds between the newer generation and the older generation, so we haven't really gotten to that part of it yet. And I think that's going to be a weird thing where they're going to be like, what? No, you're not. You don't know. I guarantee one of them are going to be like, you don't know what you like. You're a kid.
I think
probably.
Yeah. Even though as a dad would be like, I don't think so. But I think the mom's going to be like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And instead of, all right, well, we'll see what's going on. I'll just give you the information. And she didn't say she didn't like boys. She does like boys. It's just she's trying to find herself. And you have to allow her to find herself. Once again, she's 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to come out of it. And I think at least Hillary showed that she understands that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I was happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because then that was the part where Ashley talked to Hillary and told her, like, hey, I have a crush on this person, and it wound up being a girl. And then Hillary was like, okay, and she was kind of cool. But also, I think she's part of that, I mean, she's younger than us. She's like early 20s.
Yeah.
So she's a little bit closer to that age range, where she kind of like understands it, especially everything she's doing with being on the internet, being like an influencer. So, I thought that was, I thought that was pretty cool. But some people are upset about it. I don't mind it. It's the new world that we kind of live in. Where like talking about sex isn't necessarily sexualizing somebody. You know what I mean? And like I think we need to get away from that idea where like you can't talk about sex, or not just the physical thing, sex, but just being with somebody in a relationship and not it being a sexualized thing, but that's what everyone thinks about, it's like, oh, look, there's a boy and a girl, it's like sex, like it's gonna be intimate and they're gonna sexualize it and stuff like that. I don't know. I think how they're going about it so far, I like, so
I think it's important. Once again, relationships are between all type of people. So as I said, we said Will and Trey's relationships. You can have relationships. You can have a feeling about someone, but it might not be a sexual feeling. But once again, she has to identify those things. She has to decide what if it isn't a sexual feeling. Maybe it's a closeness, someone you're attracted to, but not necessarily attracted to. You don't know. So the only thing you can do is allow her to explore her feelings and give her information and space.
Yeah.
And I think that's important that people understand that.
Yeah.
You can't. She's not 7. Like she's not a little girl. She's growing up. You gotta give them space. You have to allow them to grow.
Yep. Right there with you.
Then we got other relationships. So now
I was trying to see.
We had Hillary with Aunt Viv. That kind of started to heal. She finally told her how proud she was of her, and that really went a long way for Hillary. I think she needed to hear that her mom is proud of what she's doing.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's big for any kid. It's like, I mean, there's so many like, people that have trauma because they never got that kind of like confirmation from their parents at a younger age.
Good enough. I always feel like I'm never good enough. No matter what I do, they want more, and they're thinking I'm pushing you, and you're thinking, is anything I do good enough?
Yeah.
That's a relationship that happens a lot.
Yeah. There was I was thinking about. I can't think of his name, and I know who it is, but there's another relationship too with Viv and the guy trying to buy her art, which
trying to get her to paint again, and he's like, this hopeless spot's for you. He was very, I don't know.
It wasn't flirty, but it was very.
It was very. It was still funny. It wasn't just outright, hey, I love you. I want to have sex with you. But it was very much, I'm around. Yeah. I've always thought, even he said Vivian Smith, I mean Banks. Those little sly things, and you can't trust dudes, light-skinned dudes with eyes that hazel. You don't trust them. No.
Well, I can't think of his name. I've been looking for it, and I can't think because he just showed up in this episode, in episode 5, and there's a movie he's in where he plays like a stalker. I can't remember his name, but you know what? Yeah, it was really flirty because there's parts like, oh, you're the greatest artist I've ever seen, and you're this and that. It's like really talking her up, So it wasn't like flirty, like, hey, what are you doing later? It was like talking her up, kind of flirt, like, oh, you're the greatest, you're the best. No one does it like you, and I mean, he could be right. I mean, because a lot of people love her art, but also,
but the way he was saying it was something different. It was, I don't know. I've been looking at you for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at her like
you need, yeah. And I'm looking for his for the actor's name because he's been in stuff. He's not. He was not a nobody. He's a fairly big actor.
No, I super though.
I don't know. I know you. Like
I've
when
seen
I
him
saw him, I'm like,
in,
oh, he's in it.
I've seen him in like 1,000 movies.
Yeah. I just for whatever reason I can't freaking
Like
get
I'm
his
looking
name.
at a picture of him, I still can't figure out his name. I don't
Oh,
know. Like it's like I have it. It's
yeah.
Ely. It's something Ely.
I don't remember. Well, certainly like there's names that I'm like bad with names.
I'm it's Ely. I know that. Michael Ely. It's Michael Ely. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I know the one you're talking about. The Starker movie is the perfect guy.
Oh, is that
But he's the cool barber in the barbershop movies with Ice Cube. Think Like a Man. He's in that.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
in Takers. Too Fast, Too Furious. He was in that. I mean, he's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he was in Barbershop. Yeah. So, but he's a very, I just don't, like you said, it's those eyes, man. Like he's got the eyes, and when he's
eyes, I'm not letting you talk to my wife now. No, just keep walking.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's good with that seductive kind of talk. That's what it was. It wasn't really flirty. It was like that seductive kind of like, oh, you're the best, you're the greatest. So he's definitely gonna be a person to watch out for.
Yeah, you don't get punched in the face a couple times. Just what?
By who? Uncle Phil or Jeffrey?
Yeah, that's the answer. Yes.
I'm trying to think. I don't think we got too much Jeffrey this episode.
Jeffrey wasn't already in this episode at all.
No
Jeffrey. He was being gangster somewhere else.
Yeah. Another I think like you said, this is like just a really big relationship episode because he tells this is where I believe it's where he tells his mom he wants to stay.
Yep. At the end of the episode, he calls his mom and says, it's the middle of the school year. You told me I have to expand my life to more than this 14 miles of West Philly, and I have. And right now, I need to be here. I need to stay.
Yeah.
And she says, all right, I understand. I'll support you, but we'll talk about this later. And I know he feels alone. It's scary, but he wants to take that next step. It's a giant leap, really.
Yeah.
And tell your mom that the one that it's only been you two forever.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm gonna stay.
Yeah. And I think so him and his mom's relationship, the sisters, Viv and I can't think of Will's mom, but they had the same conversation where she's like, oh, he can come home, before Thanksgiving or something like that.
Yeah.
And Viv was like, well, I think he should stay. And then yeah. Ooh. Yeah. That she got mad. She got mad.
You being mad. Yeah. You try to take my son, I'll kill you.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. Like I get you want your kid there with you, but also it's like he has so much more opportunity with being where he's at now than he did in West Philly, because the only thing he had in Philly was his scholarship to play basketball. Out here, he's got that and some.
He could be anything he wants. It doesn't even have to include basketball.
Yeah.
But because we know behind the scenes, we understand the relationship between Aunt Viv and Vi, because she basically raised her. So Will's mom is like the older sister, and she raised the other two younger sisters. So even more, she's like, you have all this great stuff. You already left the family. Now you're gonna take my son, the only thing I have left. She used to have that tight relationship with Viv. That was pulled. Now she's trying to take Will. How does she feel about that? That's hard.
Yeah. That was really, even for like Will, that was like super hard. Because I think at the end of the conversation, he's kind of teary up and he's like, I love you. And I'm trying to remember. I'm like, does she say it back?
Yeah, she says she loves
you. Does she?
I love you, okay. I'm a little busy. I have to go back to the hospital. I have to go. I'll call you later.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
But we didn't talk about one relationship that's trying to start, or that Carlton's trying to start up again.
oh yeah.
So Carlton takes this secret that he hears about Will. First, he talks to his dad and tells his dad, basically, well, I'll keep my word because at least my word means something. Like, who are
Says
you
the
talking
crackhead.
to? Yeah, like, who are you talking to? No one knows you snorting whatever. So
Yeah.
he's dealing with that, and then he goes back to Lisa, right? And he's like trying to get back in with her. And he tells Will, stay away from her. She has nothing to do with you. And so Will's trying to avoid her at all costs because
Yeah.
he just wants to, be good, be in. So he's ignoring her, whatever. And so Carlton plays his move, puts his cards on the table, tries to kiss her, and she's like, "No, no,
Yeah.
back up." I still feel the exact same way I did before, and that kind of threw him for a loop too. So that's another dynamic. So now Carlton could be that wild card that changes everything again. He could be the one that says something out loud that people find out about Will.
Mm-hmm. Because he's like jealous. Like he probably thinks like he can't get Lisa back because she likes Will, but like not realizing, yeah. I'm like, no, it's you, dude. Like she broke up with you for the first time because you got all these issues. I'm like she even said like nothing's changed. Like, it's like, yeah, like Carlton's still the same guy he's been before Will even showed up. It's just exaggerated now. It's just more of it.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this was a really interesting episode. I mean, really, I think it kind of dove into the characters more, and you start seeing their character and see who they really are, and seeing all the things they're fighting with inside internally. With even I'm Viv trying to be Vivian and being mom and being a wife, and how can you support your husband trying to be a district attorney and also continue to be the artist, and then Uncle Phil trying to be black but still be the district attorney, and it's the duality being pulled at both ways, but it's all of them. They all have things pulling them two ways, and the rest of the season is going to be about which way does it break.
Yeah,
yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my cat's scratching me. Yeah, it's and that's what I think I like about this show more than the first version of it, like because it's Fresh Prince. It was its own thing, and I don't think it didn't hit it as hard. Like you said, this duality of living these different lives. It didn't hit it as hard, or at least as quick as it is in Bel-Air. Bel-Air is like right off the bat, you see the difference really like glaring at you.
You gotta make decisions and see all the hard things, choices. Before it was just like, hey, we made it, and realize making it means something else to everybody.
Yeah.
And as I said, each character has two things pulling from them. It don't matter if it's Jeffrey or Jazz or Lisa or all of them. They all have being pulled two different ways.
Yeah.
And which way they go is going to mean it's going to take the show to a different level.
Yeah. I'm so loving this show so far because it's so good. It's just so well done. I'm trying to get my girlfriend to watch it, and she's like, she doesn't want to watch it because she doesn't want it to ruin what Fresh Prince was. And I get that, and that's why a lot of people don't want to watch it. But I think it's taking the idea of it with the names and making it more realistic. I think, I mean, obviously it's still dramatizing a lot, but there's not as much comedy in it at all. Like where the first one was like a lot of comedy. I mean, Jeffrey was a one-line kind of comedy guy. This one he's not. So
he's the most gangster guy ever.
Yeah. So I get, but I still give it a shot because it is good. It is so well done, so well written. but
I
it is
think
very different.
it took the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air culturally meant a lot.
Mm.
Even clothes, speech pattern, acceptance, all the shows, people remember them forever. And I think culturally it affected, especially a lot of people in the 90s. So anyone who grew up in that era might not want to watch it because it holds a special place in their heart. Even growing up, if you didn't have a father figure, Uncle Phil was a great father figure for a lot of people. So they don't want to see it different. So they don't want it. They can't open up to it. But the truth is, it's well written. It's well acted. It makes sense in this day and age. But it doesn't have to make sense for you for it to be a good show. I think that's what people have to understand. Because you don't deal with these issues, that doesn't mean that everyone else who's the age that other these characters are dealing with these issues. It's a different world.
Yeah. I think you can
you're
still
40. They're 19 now. You don't have the same problems. Deal with it. You're looking at Uncle Phil now. Stop. You're no longer looking at Will.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's I always hated that. I was like, oh well, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, it's been like 20 something years. I'm like, things changed, just in that amount of time. But I'm in the camp of you can still love and hold that special place for Fresh Prince, which a lot of people do, and still enjoy this one. This one doesn't ruin that. It doesn't take anything away from that. Like if you want to sit here and say this Carlton doesn't do this like this Carlton, I'm like, the drugs, yeah. I mean, that's kind of a big thing, but that's more, being a drama than a comedy. But I mean, he's still kind of the same guy. And I really didn't think about it until we got that comment and I started watching some of the older episodes. I was like, wow, he like just Carlton alone changed a lot. He was very preppy and very one way, and then Will changed him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
here's where I disagree with the comment. I felt like Carlton always was proud to be black. He never saw himself as not black. He still, saw himself, as I'm affluent. I'm who I am. I like money, but he's still black. And I feel like this one doesn't necessarily have that same blackness and understanding and the respect for what that is, especially because one show takes place in the 90s, which is very pro-black. Hey, everyone's wearing the African medallion. They're wearing these red, green, and the black colors. That's what the thing was. Content for that. You couldn't be that. You couldn't be anti the movement. That just wouldn't work. Now, as you get further along, further away from it, I think it's more acceptable to be that. It's more understanding that you can be that way because it's not the same culture.
So, yeah, even like saying like something like that is I'm trying to look it up real quick. Oh, here we go. Where he's getting rejected in the fraternity, and this is the old Fresh Prince. He tells him he goes, being black isn't who I am, or being black isn't who I'm trying to be, it's who I am. So yeah, like it was very
from the beginning. And
Yeah.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
He never tried to be anything he wasn't. Carlton liked Barry Manilow. Carlton dressed a certain way. Carlton was always still black.
Yeah.
And this Carlton almost seems like he's against that. He's totally allowing anyone to do whatever they want. He doesn't even understand what it means to be black. He got so far away from that. And I think that's the biggest problem I have.
Yeah.
I felt like Carlton made it okay to be upper class and still be black. You're still just still black.
Mm-hmm.
And this one doesn't seem that way. Like he's looking down on the experience.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like Carlton. I do like the show, but I'm still giving it a chance to do the full season before if I say this is the greatest show. I love this drama, or it's just a good show. But I wish they would have stayed with the Fresh Prince. I don't know yet which way I'm going to go.
Yeah. I mean, so far so good for me. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I do really do believe that that character arc is going to come for Carlton, because I mean, yeah, they show you how important it is in the show already with other characters. You know what I mean? Like one already with Uncle Phil, so I could see that becoming something because like he's gonna be called a sellout. You know, like already Will is already calling him a sellout, kind of. You know, but what is it gonna mean when he goes to other places? You know what I mean? You know, he tries to join the fraternity his dad with the Alphas. You know, stuff like that. You know, I'm kind of curious in is like how is he gonna get reacted by that? You know, so but yeah, the original Carlton was always kind of I always liked him. You know, he was goofy, which is funny. You know, he's always that goofy kind of guy. But he was always saying, he goes, just because I'm not your version of a black guy doesn't mean I'm still not a black man. You know what I mean? And I was like that, you know. So, you know, because it always like it broke that trope, you know, where Will was the trope of like, you know, that a black man in America, a black kid, you know,
funny,
yeah,
you know, he's all smooth and everything. And we're not just one thing. We're not just gangsters. We're not just comedians. We're all the rainbow, and that's why I appreciate about it. You know, you're more than one thing. I guess they're still doing that, but they're doing it with not appreciate your blackness, and I think that's hard for people to really get behind.
Yeah,
they're doing it with every other character. Uncle Phil still understands. He's always supposed to be that working class guy. You know, Viv still that working class woman. She still understands those things. She came from West Philly. She still has that in her. But it's weird how Carlton's so far removed from it.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's the drugs or anything, but that man, I don't know about you. I wanted to punch him when he was talking to his dad like that. I was like, dude, you know, like I wait
for the bat.
Yeah. Like Jeffrey just walk up and like throw like a pillowcase over his head. Like, you're gonna learn today. But yeah.
My dad, I'm much taller than my dad. When I was 12 years old, I started getting taller. My dad took a bat and he said, "Look, son, this is the difference between you and you right now. Anytime you get too rough, I'm gonna grab the bat, and you're gonna find out if you're a man today or not." Yeah, hey, that's the equalizer. That's why we used to call it the equalizer. I ain't messing with the equalizer. You know, sometimes you need that. You need that talk and realize you can't just say whatever you want to your dad. You better have the respect because everything you got is because of him, not because of you. And I think he needs that humility.
Yeah, and I really think it's gonna happen. You know, it's because he thinks he's better than everyone else. Everybody, not just Will. Everybody. He thinks he's better than Hillary. He thinks he's better than his parents. You know, so
Carlton's going to jail for the drugs. He's going to mark my words. Remember this episode. He's going to jail for the drugs. It's happening.
Yeah,
that's what the big reveal is going to be for him.
Planning the drugs on Will in Will's bag. I can see that.
Having him in school, all like stored and all that stuff. Someone's going to catch him with the drugs, and it's going to be a felony because he's going to have too much of an amount. And his dad's going to have to try to defend him, and he's going to say, "Dad, why can't you just get me out like Will?" That's why I feel like that Will thing could slip. But he's going to get caught with drugs, and that's what his humility is going to be.
Yeah,
and he's going to stay overnight in jail or something like that.
Yeah, that's damn. I see that happening. I see that happening. He's got to get knocked down a notch. You know, I don't want to say it, but he's at that point where he thinks he's better. I mean, you know, he's saying like at least my words still mean something. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You know who framed Will. Like, you do coke all the time. It's like, you started a fight that got Will in trouble. I was like, what are you talking about? Your word, man. They're like, your word. It's like
that's a word of a child. That's the thoughts of children. Where that's the thoughts of children. The thing that I could challenge you on that level. You haven't made it to that level yet. Who are you to try to challenge someone? You have no idea what it takes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's going to have to find out. And, you know, as I said this before, and Will's going to be the only one that's going to go and talk to him and save him and be there for him.
Yeah.
Because I understand what a mistake means. I understand, you know, how to stand back up and understand a mistake doesn't define you for it forever. And that's where their relationship's going to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I can't wait, but I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a adversary or like not really a villain, but just the opposite. You know, where at least in the original Fresh Prince, it's all about comedy. So you're able to make like random characters be a bad guy or a bad situation kind of be the issue. With this, I don't know, because it's not a sitcom. This is a series, you know, so I don't know if they're going to do it that quick or what, but
I don't think secrets could be the thing that they always have to be talking about. That's what keeps the drama going, because all the secrets that they keep on holding as a family.
Yeah.
I mean, family in itself is drama. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know we were gonna get into a bunch of other stuff, but we've already been going on for like 53 minutes with this.
We'll be done by 10 o'clock. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, we can save all the theories and stuff, because that was just like filler stuff anyway. I really didn't think we were gonna talk about like one episode for so long, but man, it's just how good the show is. Like honestly, how good the show is, you know. So you know,
it shows the thing that shows a quality show is when you're able to talk about so many different aspects of it and break it down in so many different ways and relate to your own life and other people's lives, because it makes more sense now.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning towards this is a great show that people just don't want to see all the time, because even I knew what was going on with the episode 5. I waited till like 2 days ago to really watch the whole episode. I was watching and I paused. I was like, I don't know if I want to see Carlton do this again. But then I realized it's a different character. I don't have to see it as the same character and let it breathe on its own. And then I was able to accept it more. And I think that's what people have to do, because it's not going anywhere.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's its own thing. You know, you really can't compare it too much to the original. You just can't. You know, so. But I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. As of recording this, tomorrow the new episode comes out, which I'm probably gonna watch it for lunch. That's gonna be my lunch thing. You know, I'm gonna eat my food and watch episode 6.
Hey, tomorrow's my wife's birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Ashley. I love you more than anything. But since I'm taking the day off, I'm probably watching it with her too.
Yeah. How's your wife? I'm assuming she's watching it too. How does she like it?
She's like, it's too much drama. It's like, it is a drama. Well, it's too much. Okay.
Yeah, I can get that. You know, like
you're watching Euphoria too.
Yeah, right.
Problem, right? Okay, whatever.
And I feel like Euphoria is way out of our like, especially like our age wheelhouse. It's not made for guys in their 40s or anybody in their 40s. It's made for like people in their 20s who just got out of high school. Like, oh yeah, I had that problem. I was like, I can't relate to that show at all. It doesn't mean it's a bad show, and I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone loves it, but you know, all these drugs and all this other stuff and the stuff they deal with, and I'm like, I have no idea about any of this stuff. I'm just too old. That's what the point. I'm too old. I accept it. That's okay. It can still be good for somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it eventually, but I'm not in a rush to watch it, because it's like you said, it's harder to relate to. You know what I mean? But where I get it, like this show, you know, could be hard to relate to, especially if you hold that special spot for Fresh Prince. But yeah, it's a drama. It's a drama, and that was like one thing I've been hearing a lot too, is like don't Empire-ish or Empire-fy Fresh Prince. You know, because that's kind of what they're doing. But
what's that? Cliffhanger. I understand, what they're saying, but they're not bringing new things. All this stuff that's happening right now is actual stuff that really mostly happened in the show.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff happened. The only thing they did was Lisa and Carlton, but everything else.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, there is one other thing. So we had another comment. Let's see if I got to bring it up real quick. So they everyone, he this is sorry if I murder your name. It's Kwadu, KWADWO. Turf 4. I'll see last name, but he or she, I'm not sure. Sorry. Said for the Lisa one, said great reviews for the quite drastic change with Lisa. In the original, I believe Will met her in college pretty late in the series, and her father was visiting from Cleveland and wasn't, the head of police like he is here. I kind of wish they changed the Lisa character in the show into just a brand new character. Just be somebody completely different.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Will only loved two women in the show, Lisa and Jackie. Yeah. So Jackie's coming, and I think they decided that they want Jackie to be the main woman that's going to be fighting with Lisa, because Will and Jackie's connection is on a different level.
Yeah,
both from West Philly. They both can play basketball. There's nothing like a beautiful girl that plays basketball. That's right up my wheelhouse. You can play basketball. You're beautiful. You could be on both. You could play with me, and we could play video games, and we could go out, and we can do both. That's gonna be something special. And I think they decided to give Lisa a half Jackie, half Lisa role, and then bring the real Jackie in and see how they're going to develop from there. Because I think Will's gonna have a problem season 2. You're going to have to figure out what he really wants.
Yeah.
At 17. Who knows what he wants at 17?
Yeah, I know, right? I wonder what they're going to do with the whole college stuff, too. Like what they're going to do with stuff like that. I mean, this show got some solid years if, they keep the writing up the way it is. It could be on for a while, So,
can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Super excited. I mean, a lot of people were like what else can they do? But I was like, look at Cobra Kai. It's so far gone from what it was in the movies, and it's its own thing now. They could definitely do something like this with Bel-Air.
Daniel still sucks, but it's just something.
Asshole. Yeah, he's such an asshole. Oh man, but yeah. So yeah, but appreciate the comments from all the guys. Leaving comments on the videos. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, let's end this up here.
Yeah,
we're like, let's go for like 15 minutes on this episode.
Just 1 hour later.
Yeah, seriously. But cool. Anything else, man?
No, I mean, I'm ready to see episode 6. I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be fun. And then so we're gonna do episode 6 next week. Hopefully, and we'll get into a few other things as well. We're gonna in the upcoming weeks, Moon Knight at the end of this month, which I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Moon Knight.
I'm going to be so busy because Picard is coming out.
Picard.
Upload 2 is coming out. I mean, it's just Moon Knight. Oh, it's gonna be so much stuff. I'm gonna come in. I don't know what I want to talk about. I'm gonna have to do just individual little episodes on myself.
Yeah, dude. I was saying,
episode, I gotta do this, guys. Did you see Picard episode 2? Oh my goodness, Q, how dare you? Whatever.
yeah, dude. That'd be fun. I was telling you guys, man, do some solo stuff. Stuff that you like. It's always good. I know I'm gonna do South Park eventually.
I've been watching The Next Generation for years. Sometimes I'm in my car, sometimes I'm stuck in there. I will turn on The Next Generation. I've seen every episode at least 15, 16, 17 times. Just since Netflix had it. And then I have tapes. So I still watch the tapes. I'm watching The Next Generation forever.
That's funny. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's how it was always like my grandfather always had it on TV. So it was kind of like, I don't want to watch what he's watching, But as time went on, I started to appreciate the show a lot more. All Star Trek, really. But yeah. So there's a bunch of all that stuff coming out. for sure. I mean, shit, you could do a quick video while you're on your lunch break or something. I don't know.
Hey, it's gonna happen.
I don't know.
And then
Yeah.
tomorrow, the Batman.
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. So Monday we're gonna review it, and it sounds like we're gonna get a bunch of Nerd Huddle guys here on Monday. So that show's gonna be a lot different than our normal kind of routine that we do. Because if we get like 5 people in here talking about the Batman, it's gonna be a lot different. It's gonna be a lot different. We'll get everyone's take for sure, but yeah, we got a bunch of people that are good. They're gonna see that.
Right.
I
If they
can't
start
wait
talking,
to see
you
it.
know, you can't stop me from getting on here. So, like, you guys go ahead and go. Go ahead and watch it. Oh, they said something. Let me get on now.
Nah, I'm all good, man. We get you, me, Will. I know Mark said he might most likely he's gonna watch it. Fredo said he's probably gonna. I think they both of them already got tickets. I was like, damn, I don't even got tickets yet. So
Yeah, either. I figured I was gonna get it tomorrow.
I'll probably see it Sunday. That's the only time I got. But yeah, so yeah, that's happening on Monday. What else we got going on? Our Oscar stuff again is going with me and Fredo and all you guys are coming in here and there with videos. And yeah.
No. And we have a countdown to the NFL season. We should have a countdown to Doctor Strange too. Like a town.
Yeah.
I need time for real. Like I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh man. God, I can't wait for that. I mean, when does that come out? May, right?
Yep. I think May 8th, I'm gonna say.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be so good. That's gonna be so good. We're gonna spend like a whole like at least one whole episode just talking that.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be sitting there like, did you see it? I saw it for the 14th time. Like, Bryon, it's May 7th out. Like, yeah, I just kept those. I stayed there.
You just pitched the tent and just hung out in the back.
So you ever see was it Big Bang Theory after they saw episode 9 and they're like, oh, it was so good. It was so that's gonna be me. I needed that.
Yes. Going to the other theater, watch it again. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's good. Anything else? I think that's about it, man.
Yeah, that's it. I think we're good.
Yeah. I just want to thank you for everyone commenting and going checking out a lot of the videos. Our views have been going up, so we appreciate that. Just quick shout out, subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss out when we're live, and you come and hang out with us while we're live, stuff like that. Because there's a lot of live stuff that gets cut out for the show episode. So make sure you subscribe and check us out live, and also go check out our Facebook group. Our Spoiler Kings Facebook group. We put up a bunch of different like movie and TV articles, and we didn't even get into the whole Bender Gate that I wanted to get into. But Bender Gate,
we need a Law Order sound. Doom doom every time.
Yeah. That wasn't that I saved for what's his name?
Hey,
Sean Watson, but
oh my god.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Alyssa.
Here. Hey. Or is it more of a But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else we're doing.
No, I mean that's it. Come see us on Sunday on the Morning Spike. See you and Fredo do your releases, and you'll see us a lot, guys. Every time you turn on YouTube, we'll be there.
I'm really trying to do a daily upload. So I'm trying to at least get one episode a day. What do I say next? You said it already.
I think you're gonna say bye because we're out of here.
Yeah, we're out of here. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you. Sorry. We just got one more. Yeah. Sorry, it's late. We're old men. Bedtime. Take a Tums, and we're going to bed. All right. Later.
That's for real.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.